Mary is a woman who converted a school bus into a camper, which she named Max. That's where the name of her channel, Maximalist Minibus, comes from. She travels with her dog, Ryder, and often posts videos where she shares stories and connects with her subscribers. Her content is very relaxing, showing small moments from her life and giving off a really genuine vibe. But in this particular video, something happened that left her genuinely terrified. She finally decided to do something she had been putting off for a while, and when she did, it completely shocked her.
I am a procrastinator. Sometimes it takes me a really long time to get things done. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like I'm a very busy person, but am I? Or do I just spend a lot of time goofing around? Like, for example, I've been a host at this campground since like the end of April. The whole time, almost every day, I say, oh, I got to set up my hammock. Or, oh, I got to make some hummingbird food and set up the hummingbird feeder. But I never do it. I mean, and the hummingbirds here, they can be really aggressive. They come right in my face and they demand that I feed them. And I say, oh yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. And then I never set it up. But every day people come into the campground and they're going to be here for like 2 days. And they build a whole world. They put up like 3 or 4 hammocks, 3 or 4 sleeping tents. They put a canopy over the picnic table, lights everywhere. It's like they make a little city on their campsite, and they do it in, it seems like 5 seconds. And they're just going to have to take it down in 2 days, which they do just as fast. I can't even put away my laundry in that amount of time. This camera, for example, I've had this camera for at least a year, maybe more, probably, maybe even 2 years. It's a trail cam with a little solar panel on the top, and you know, it has its own power and everything. And I searched for it because I wanted one that had its own power so I could put it anywhere. Didn't have to worry about whether I have power there. And it has the solar panel, and then it also has inside this little door, it has battery backup. You're supposed to put batteries in it, which I haven't done yet. Surprise, surprise. But anyway, the batteries are like C batteries, or, oh no, actually, you know what? It's 4 AA's. I was at Walmart and I remembered, so I got an SD card, so now tonight I can set this up. Maybe the hammock is next. I'm going to put the camera on this little footstool that I always put in front of my tent when I close it up for the night. It's basically just shooting right next to the bus. Probably not the most exciting place to put the camera. Probably should put it over by the creek, but for the first night, I don't even know if it's set up right, so I'm just going to leave it here.
At first, setting up a camera doesn't seem like a big deal. I mean, what are the chances that something actually happens in just one night, right? That would be too much of a coincidence, right? That's exactly what she thought. She finally found some batteries and decided to set up her camera near the tent, close to where she was staying, hoping to maybe capture some wildlife. She placed it there and kind of forgot about it. But the next day, she noticed something that felt off, something suspicious. And once she realized that someone had actually been there, she remembered the camera. What she saw next left her absolutely terrified.
This morning I got up and my tent is open. And I mean, I know squirrels are always trying to get in there, but squirrels didn't do this. Squirrels can't operate a zipper. I haven't seen any here with opposable thumbs. And I always zip it shut from the top down to the bottom. But see, there's 2 zippers. And so it's open the other way. One zipper stays at the top after I zip it, and somebody unzipped it from the top down to the bottom. So right now it's like it's open like a flap, right? So it's open, it's zipped at the bottom. And when I first saw it, I thought, well, that's weird. But honestly, I didn't think that much about it because I don't know, maybe I did it that way. I don't think I did. I never have before. But it wasn't until later in the morning that I thought about the critter cam. And I was like, oh, let's see what animals we got. So I popped it out, put it in, and I didn't capture any animals. I captured a guy. In the first part, it shot at like 8:30, and it just got like some campers walking to the restroom, but then nothing until 2:30. And then at 2:30, you should see these headlights. So it looks like the car's coming from around, like maybe either somebody drove in and they're turning around right now, or I don't know. I don't think it's a camper, but So the headlights come this way, and then it's a pickup truck that goes by. I don't recognize it. It could belong to a camper, could belong to somebody in the cabins up the road, but I know most of those cars. It's not a vehicle I recognize. Let's start with that. But right after it goes by, keep your eye on this over here. Okay, there. There he is. You see him? He's got glasses on that are shining. He's got on a baseball cap. It looks like he might have a goatee. And here he comes. He walks across. See, he's got a trash bag, it looks like. And I thought at first he had a backpack on, but you'll see in a minute it's not a backpack. So he walks by. And then it missed the first part of him, but then he comes back with a flashlight. And he's coming around, like, I have a table over here with a bunch of stuff on it. He's coming around probably checking out what's on that table. I think he's... Okay, now look, here he comes. Now he's shining the flashlight in through the mesh of the tent, trying to see what's inside the tent. And you can see, like, his pants are all kind of frayed and everything. But he leaves again. He walks by, and he's going, like, probably over to the golf cart to see what's in the golf cart, because the golf cart's parked in front of the bus. And then he goes around. I think he must probably go around the bus and come back again, because give it a second. He's going to come back. There he goes. Coming back around for another chance. And this time, he's not going to just look inside the tent. This time, yeah. Give him a second. There he goes. He's coming right to the tent. And look at this. He moves the camera. I mean, he moves the camera. I guess he doesn't know it's a camera, but he moves the steps with the camera so that he can unzip the tent and get inside. And then he's inside the tent for all. You can hear him plunking around, moving things, stuff like that. Moving stuff around. And then the movement stops, so the camera kind of stops recording. There he goes. Now he comes out. He's got that jug of water, which I think he had going in, but he's got a trash bag, and he's wearing a trash bag. It's not a backpack.
She looked around, including inside the tent, and nothing seemed to be stolen, which raises the question, what was the man actually looking for? It was clear he wasn't there by accident. You don't just walk into someone else's tent for no reason. She was lucky that she was locked inside the camper. On the camera, the man can be seen circling the camp multiple times and even approaching the school bus, which means there's a high chance he may have tried the door without her even realizing it. And that's a scary thought, because what if he had managed to get inside while she was there? Was that what he was trying to do? It's a strong reminder to always lock your doors and not delay safety measures. After spending so much time in that location, it makes you wonder if this was really the first time something like this happened, or if something worse could have happened eventually. At least now she knows that area isn't as safe as it seemed, and that she either needs to change spots or take stronger precautions moving forward. Strayed Explorer is a guy who loves exploring forests, abandoned buildings with strange histories, and places where unsettling things have happened. He constantly films his adventures, hoping to capture anything unusual, though most of the time nothing extreme really happens. But in this particular video, he wasn't even looking for anything like that. He just wanted to go camping in the forest and have a good time. However, things started happening that made him feel extremely unsafe.
Alright then guys, we are back with another adventure. As you can see, we're jumping right into this one. You know, it is a running theme on this channel that I am always late. I may feel or seem a little bit off, and that is because I've literally I've been here, I've put my bag down here, I've been here for about 10-15 minutes. I don't know if I've said where we are. We are in the infamous Hopworth Woods. Now this place is ancient, and I'm going to get into some of the stories later, but there has been over the years a lot of people doing rituals and stuff in here. There's been arrests, because, well, I'm going to get into that later, but yeah, this place is no joke.
He began setting up his tarp and hammock, then gathered some wood to start a fire, both to keep warm and to cook some food. Everything seemed to be going well. Nothing felt out of place, and he was just looking forward to eating and relaxing. But that's exactly when things started to happen, and they only kept getting worse from there.
That was the sound of someone walking around again. That's 3 times now. 3 times tonight I've heard someone walking around.
He started hearing footsteps around him, but when he looked, no one was actually there. He turned on his flashlight, scanning the area, but again, nothing. He tried to continue cooking, acting like everything was fine, but deep down he was getting more and more uncomfortable.
What was that? Hello?
He still couldn't see anything, but the footsteps and strange sounds were getting closer and closer. If it had been an animal, it probably would have left by now, but it didn't. Eventually, he got into his hammock and tried to go to sleep, turning off the camera and planning to pick it back up in the morning. But in the middle of the night, he was suddenly woken up by loud footsteps circling around him.
There's someone walking around outside. I've been listening for 5 minutes. I can't see anyone, but I can hear them. Yeah, I just woke up and I could hear someone walking around out there to my left, over by the where the fire was. Hello?
That was enough for him. He packed everything up as fast as he could and made his way back to his car, leaving the area completely. He never managed to figure out what was around him, but it was clearly something alive, moving, circling, staying close for a long time. If it was an animal or a person, he had no idea, but whatever it was, sticking around his camp for that long didn't feel right. An animal would usually leave after the first signs of noise or confrontation, especially when he was calling out into the forest. But a person person might stay hidden if they didn't want to be seen, and that's where it gets even more unsettling, because if it was a person, what did they actually want? I'm not saying it was 100% something dangerous, but in a situation like that, leaving is always the safest option, especially in a remote area, in complete darkness. Now I'm curious, what do you think was out there? An animal, a person, something else, or nothing at all? A person named Alec was out in the forest, camping with a friend, when all of a sudden they stepped outside and saw something approaching them. It was a bear. They immediately got scared and left their tent, trying to put some distance between them and the animal. But what the bear did next really made them realize how badly this situation could have turned out. Take a look.
Сейчас раздербанит.
А там палатки-то никого здесь нет. Ну, молодые.
А кто туда пойдет?
Разодрал палатку.
Прогрызет сейчас, ну.
Голодный.
The bear destroyed the tent, and it really makes you think what could have happened if they had decided to stay inside and close the zipper, assuming they'd be safe there. It's likely the bear smelled food or something that attracted it, which is exactly why many people warn against cooking near your tent, as it can draw wildlife closer than you expect. The two friends could only watch as their shelter was torn apart, and they were just relieved they weren't inside when it happened. They didn't have any way to defend themselves, so an encounter like that could have easily turned into a very dangerous situation. Sydney is a girl who has been traveling in her SUV since 2024, living on the road and camping wherever her journey takes her. She shares her lifestyle through a YouTube channel, documenting her adventures as she goes. Her life is full of exploration and new experiences, and she clearly loves the freedom it gives her. Her videos are really engaging and definitely worth checking out, but this particular one was a bit out of the ordinary, and it put her in a situation that quickly became uncertain. She had planned to visit 2 ghost towns and after that, spend the night in a supposedly haunted hotel. But along the way, she encountered something that was a bit more real than anything she had expected, and honestly, a lot more unsettling.
My review so far is as follows. Not creepy, just kind of old, very tall ceilings. The town is very busy. Oh, also I feel like it's not very soundproofed at all. Wait. You know, I just heard footsteps. I just heard footsteps. It sounded like this. What the? Did I just had my first ghost encounter. I would have grabbed my GoPro, but I was... Wait. Oh my god. Let me reenact the scene. I was reading this paper. I got to, she had a rousing, roaring silver and gold line past. And I just heard footsteps right outside my door go.
She heard some footsteps, and when she checked the area, there was no one there. The location was old, so it could have just been the building creaking or settling. That's just my take on it. But then, night came. It was time to sleep, And that's when things took a much creepier turn.
I just wanted to give you guys an update. It's 9:30. I haven't had any ghost encounters in the past couple hours. I still have work to do, so I'm gonna keep grinding and I'll let you know if anything changes. It's almost 11 o'clock. So I'm gonna get my PJs and then go to sleep. I can't believe I'm sleeping in a haunted hotel tonight. I'm kind of scared to turn the light off. Good night, my friends. I'll let you know if anything scary happens. This place is definitely haunted. I don't think I slept at all last night. Oh my gosh, that was the worst sleep I've gotten in my entire life. It was constant all night. The noises were constant.
Now she came up with the explanation that it was either a ghost or someone checking the hotel out, especially since there weren't many people staying there that night, and the fact that she was hearing sounds near her, even inside the room, only added to her conclusion. Now, the truth is that it could also have been something natural. The place was old, and as we know, older buildings tend to make a lot of strange noises on their own. A lot of people, however, believe this was actually a haunted location and that what she experienced was paranormal. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm just here to present the video as it is and share what both she and many viewers believe happened. I've told you my take on it, but I'd really like to hear yours. Do you think it could have been haunted and that she was actually in danger, or was it just something completely normal? Ghost Theory are two adventurers and paranormal enthusiasts traveling across the UK in search of so-called haunted hotspots, trying to find out what's actually real. But don't let the name fool you. They're not the type to find ghosts in every single video. Their content is more focused on exploring these locations properly, rather than just chasing sudden door slams, random shadows, or flying objects. That said, in this particular video, they decided to camp in what people call the most haunted forest in the UK, and what they encountered wasn't paranormal at all, but something far more physical.
We've just arrived here in this beautiful forest, and obviously being the day, it's not so bad, but we're going to be exploring this forest to try and get to all the most haunted areas, to do a little bit of history in each area, and even try and do a little bit of investigating before it gets dark.
Epping Forest has stood here for thousands of years, once serving as a royal hunting ground for kings and nobles. In medieval times, this forest wasn't just a wilderness, it was dangerous. Outlaws, highwaymen, and smugglers used these woods as cover, disappearing into the trees after robberies along nearby roads.
So you can imagine this place all those years ago had been absolutely massive. There had been so many places for people to hide.
I mean, it still is currently 600 acres, but during Dick Turpin's time, this would have been more like 20,000.
That's bigger than it is now.
The night was falling second by second, and before they knew it, it was already dark. Walking along the forest trail, they were trying to find a spot to camp, a place where they could set up their tent and spend the rest of the night.
what sounds like a bottle.
It sounds like rustling.
I mean, here is
Yeah.
very, very campsite-y.
It's so silent here. Do you know, they say just everything dies here. Like, the sound dies, things don't live. And it is just silent. It's been so noisy.
You're right.
That is bizarre, isn't it?
We got the campsite set up as quick as possible so that we could begin investigating straight away. This is a time lapse, but not actually that quick.
They set up their tent and started exploring the woods, walking between the trees to see if anything unusual was going on. They spent a good amount of time doing that, but nothing really happened. So they decided to head back to the tent and get ready to end the day. But that's when everything started to feel a lot creepier.
I'm going to turn my light on because... Wow! That is...
Footsteps could be heard very close to their tent, so they decided to step outside and check. Confused about what they had just heard, they looked around, but there was nothing there. So whatever it wasn't close anymore. Or at least that's what they thought. They turned on an infrared thermometer to check for any heat signatures in the woods, and that's when they saw something that terrified them enough to make them run from that location.
Is that heat signatures in the water?
I don't know. It's just the log, isn't it?
Look. He's...
Where is that?
That's just across, literally straight across where the lights were coming from.
Good. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That's enough for me tonight.
Yeah.
That is absolutely more than enough for me tonight.
That's that's someone. That's someone there.
Hello?
A man seemed to be hiding behind a tree, watching them from a distance, and it made them believe he might have been the one walking around their tent. But why? Why was he watching them? Thinking about the history of that place, it really makes you question his intentions. And honestly, it's a terrifying thought. The creators quickly grabbed their gear, packed everything up, and left the area immediately. And what makes it even worse is the possibility that the man may have followed them until they got out of the woods. Going into places like this is always risky. Many times, legends talk about people getting lost in the forest and never being found, but in reality, something much darker could have happened. That's why it's important to avoid certain areas, or at the very least, never go alone, especially when camping. Now I'm curious, what do you think that was? A person? An animal? Or something paranormal, just like the legends of that forest suggest? That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed these kinds of videos, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. You can also turn on the bell so you'll get notified whenever I post. And if you want to keep watching, click on one of the videos on the screen. I'm sure you'll enjoy those too.